Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Feng Shui for Scorpio season. So it's cold here in Los Angeles. I have a sweater next to me. Um, Things are changing, but things are heating up. And I don't know if you're feeling the energy in the air already. I certainly am feeling the energy in the air. And today we're going to talk about Scorpio season for 2021. There's been a lot of shifts, and lately, a lot of things really coming into activity, awakening. If you haven't yet, this is an amazing time. If you haven't yet, this is an amazing time to do the Feng Shui Wealth video series. It's linked below for you, and I'll remind y'all when more people are on. Below, you can find the link and do this video series because it really heats up your intentions. So, this is exciting because Scorpio season is about passion. It's about uh, transformation, reinvention, makeovers, all kinds of things that are very exciting, this tangible stuff. It's very deep and you can feel it. It's not sort of ethereal. A lot of times people talk about there's energy shifts and new energies are coming in, and you don't necessarily feel them as profoundly. This is all incredibly tangible stuff. It's holiday season for many of us around the world coming. There's lots and lots to think about as we get close to the end of the year. And one of the things I wanted to start with for Scorpio season is a look back at the beginning of the year and think about what it is that you wished to accomplish. What did you wish to accomplish? What were those things you wanted when you were thinking about 2021? You thought, I really want this. If this year is going to be amazing, I really want this. I really want to accomplish this. And if you haven't yet done it, or you haven't reached the finish line, it's an amazing time to sort of ramp things up as we get into this final stretch of the year. There's a philosophy of goal setting that setting goals for a year is not really that effective. Having a vision for the year is a great thing, but setting goals with a timeline of 1 year to get it done can be very, it's too big. It's too big of a timeline. So what happens is you set goals for a year and then you go through the year and then you think, oh, I have a whole year to get this done. Let me do this in May. Let me do this in June and July and August. And it's easy to put things off because you have till the end of the year to get it done. Now, if you take that year-long goal and break it down into pieces and give yourself 3 months to get something done, then there's not a whole lot of room. You can push a few things off here and there. There's not a whole lot of room to just kind of let it go till later. But when it's a year, conceptually speaking, it doesn't feel like a big necessity level to get it done right away. So we're talking now about ramping up the necessity level. The end of the year is in sight, which is wild because I feel like this year just started. The end of the year is in sight. What is it that you love to do? How would you love to finish this year in a profound way? What would it be that really thrilled you? And you can ask yourself that as you think about the new moon, the full moon, all the things ahead, these pivotal points, but also just think about from now till the end of the year, what would even one project, one home project, one life project, one habit shift that you could get done that would make you feel personally proud? Not what other people think, not what you had initially wrote on paper, but what from right now till the end of the year could you do that would make you feel personally really proud, really excited, and really just kind of feel like, yes, I did it. I'm going to check and see if this is actually, oh, I think it is having an effect. Great. Fantastic. So from this standpoint of, it's strange, I have suddenly a way to change all of these settings. So from this standpoint of what you're doing till the end of the year, what comes up? Because when we talk about Scorpio season, again, passion, motion, transformation, what is it that's going to really move things forward? Now, Scorpio is a sign that is actually about water. It's a water sign, it's not a fire sign. Fire is usually associated with passion, with heat, with sexuality, with all of these things. But water is actually the element of your second chakra, which is your most creative chakra that has to do with sex and passion and all sorts of things, but also has to do with your real rising up of energy. The second chakra is where things go from being grounded to real manifestation, like it's a real creative driver, like the birthing of the new, the birth of things. And that is a water element chakra, which is not usually thought about. We always think about everything to do with making things happen, to do with fire. Water is really profound because water has to do with your emotions, with your emotional well being, with your emotions. Water has a lot to do with this sense of not just flowing, but momentum, building momentum. In Feng Shui, water and fire are two very commonly worked with elements. And when we talk about this season and how to really flow and make the most of this month ahead, a lot of it has to do with getting into this sense of momentum and leaning into it. And in order to lean into momentum, you have to really feel good about where it's going. So it's very important to be clear minded, have a clear sense of where you're going, and then lean into that momentum. Now, to begin with the feng shui, water in your house. We'll talk about this as we go through all of, again, the new moon, the full moon, but to begin looking at water and how you can use its cleansing and also motivating properties in your life. Start with that sense of cleansing with water, washing things down. Again, we'll get even more specific as we go, but just take a look around and ask yourself, does something need to be washed? Does something need to be cleaned? Beyond your laundry, do you need to wash the windows? Do you need to wash the curtains? Do you need to really get in with some water and scrub something? It's a real freshening of everything. If you could imagine you could power wash something and just cleanse it to absolute perfection, what comes to mind in your house? That's the area to focus on first. This cleansing, clearing properties of water. Now, also, when you're thinking about water in your home and using this power of water, having intentional water makes a difference. So I have tea today to use it as an example, but we'll say this is also made of water, so that works. You can hold your water in your hands and you can imagine an intention going into your water. So before you start drinking, you can say, I am going to infuse this water with lots of confidence, 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 confidence. And as you drink it, water has a nature of taking on energies. If you notice, lots of herbal tinctures, lots of essences, lots of healing remedies are in water because water can hold energy. Water can hold structures, and it does make a huge difference when you infuse your water with energy. So I have my "Do What Makes You Happy" mug. It's my ultimate mantra. You can also get a mug or a glass that has a saying on it or a word that you want to really infuse into your life. Again, using that power of water. You can also think about using water when you shower, when you take a bath, really being deliberate about the water, really tune in to the water, feel it. Really feel it. Oftentimes we take a shower, we're not thinking about anything. We have to get this done, or you're waking up, or you're warming up. Same thing with a bath. You're just in there, you're just letting things go, relaxing. Really tune in and connect to the water. This can be a wonderful time to also upgrade your shower, your bath, or your bathroom itself, because this is the time of deep self care. So while might not be able to renovate your whole bathroom, maybe you put new art on the walls, maybe you add a new plant, maybe you do a deep cleaning. I'm about to steam my bathroom. I do it probably twice a year, where steam is a wonderful also thing to do for this season. It's when you heat up water, when you have a steamer, a steam cleaner, it can deeply, deeply clean and disinfect everything. And also, again, you're utilizing that deep cleansing power of water. And that hot water can do amazing things. So it's a great way to clean your house without using chemicals, without having to use strong abrasives. And when I sit down and really focus and just steam all the grout, I have tons and tons of vintage tiles. It feels so good. It's so refreshing. And connecting to that power of water makes a difference. The reason is we are water. We are largely water. We are 70 something percent water. According to experts, I've seen 65, I've seen 75. We are a large percentage water as our physical bodies. And so when we're talking about water energy, we're talking about a real core energy, something that you can really feel. And no wonder Scorpio season is connected to your passions and also transformation in a deep way and emotions in a deep way. And also, beyond all of that, Scorpio also has this feeling of really being able to let things go in a different way where it hits differently. So using this power of water is very, very powerful. So let's talk about reinvention. The Astro twins, this for this specific Scorpio season, talked about like ways of reinvention. And I love the word reinvention because we really do have a chance to sort of start fresh at any point. But when you're working with water energy, it really is a fresh start. Even in nature, water is the start of all things. We can't live without water. And this idea of tuning into this sense of reinvention. How would you like to reinvent yourself? How would you like to reinvent maybe the way you think? Is it time for a mindset upgrade? Would you like to reinvent the way that you exercise? I'm joining a new program. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this thing called Beachbody. I've never heard of it. I was always sort of turned off by the words Beachbody because what? Like I'm not exercising for someone else to see me at the beach or whatever it is. But the workouts are apparently really great. It's come highly recommended. So I'm going to try it as a new form of exercise. Again, reinventing the way you do something. I've also been doing Strala Home, which is incredible. And there's tons of very, very, very awesome, expansive yoga and Tai Chi and Qigong. So again, reinventing the way that I'm moving and thinking about my own body. For you, it might be reinventing your mindset around something, reinventing your home, one room of your home. So we'll talk about home in just a minute, even deeper. But think about some personal reinvention. What would be something that reinventing the way that you structure your mornings, your morning routine, reinventing the way that you go through your workday so you don't feel like you're like, oh, when is it going to end? Reinventing anything that's not quite optimal or you feel like could use a boost. You can also think of this as the start of reinventing yourself in some way if you're looking for a new career, to start a passion project, to learn new things. This is all incredibly excellent. Now, in your home, when you make changes in your home, you make changes in your life. So, reinventing your home in some way can be off the charts amazing. How can you reinvent your home? You might redecorate a room. It might be reinventing your home for the holidays. So, taking out all your decor, starting to set things up, starting to plan. And that's a reinvention that can reinvigorate the energy around you. But in your home, whenever you're making changes, start with you. How do you want to feel? How do you want to be living? How do you want to move through each room? Really important. Now, this is a wonderful time to dive deep into research, to dive deep, diving deep. Again, that water theme, diving deep into research, diving deep into things that you want to know. So, again, if you have some unfinished projects that you want to get done by the end of the year, or if you want to set yourself up now for things you're going to start in the new year, maybe after the holidays are over, do the deep research this month before all the major holidays start, or the vacations or whatever it is. Do it now. Dig in, get into everything, sort of geek out and get into everything. This is a wonderful, wonderful time to take classes, dive into the depths of things, reinventing core aspects of your life that are going to have a major impact on you for the year ahead. So it might be reinventing your finances, reinventing the ways that you're running your own business, all this stuff. Dive in, really go to the depths. Don't be satisfied with surface things. Really go in. Someone asked, how do you feel about putting intentions into others who are resistant? I don't make intentions for other people. I have a strong sense, and this is a very Scorpio thing. It's about your own depths, your own intentions. Everyone has their own things that are going to be their passion, be their journey. And this is a time of personal self reflection. I always intend the greatest things to happen for people, but I never intend for people to do specific things because I feel like that's working against their will and their path. And I'm a very big believer that even the twists and turns and the things that I can look at my own life and say that I have personally done that I would never probably choose to do again, the worst decisions I've ever made, were critical to being able to get through and get over a lot of things that I needed for that transformation. A lot of this, I know I like to focus on all the positive aspects of all things because I think that's an important focus. But in the midst of this, as you're diving deep into things, you may realize some things need to change that are going to take a little bit more digging, or maybe it's time for therapy, a coach, maybe it's time again for group coaching, a class, something that's going to help elevate you that you maybe can't fully do on your own. That type of support network, something, a healer, something that might help you to grow and expand. But it's all very personal. And I understand what it's like when you want to intend for other people. I always intend for the best things and for people's happiness, but I am a very strong believer that I don't really know what's truly best for anyone else and for their life path unfolding. And while, yes, on the surface, some things are, everyone comes to that deep place of transformation in their own ways. So I always hold the highest intentions for people's wellness and their happiness, and I will intend with them. So, for instance, if a person wants to change, like for instance, in this case, your parents want to change, they want to feel better, want to have more fun, you certainly can intend with them, and you can also bring more fun things and offer help and offer support in all ways. You can always help people, and you can always intend for their greatest happiness. And so, as you go through this season, it's a nice time to also double down. While this is a very active time of getting things done and making things happen and getting really set up for a new year starting now, this is also an amazing time to think about deeper self-care. So all that sense of a makeover, a reinvention, whether you're changing your hair color or reinventing your diet or doing all sorts of things. A lot of friends have been calling me, telling me about all of their new sort of decisions they've made for their wellness, which I think is interesting. It's like a pattern. It would be really good time to look at your self-care and how much you are taking, not just taking good care of yourself in terms of bubble baths and detox drinks in the morning and smoothies and all the things that we think of classically as wellness. This is about self-care, honoring your true nature. And so if you need more alone time, that can be the greatest self-care you give to yourself. If you need time off, even though there's a lot to do, making that a habit and a standard can be the greatest thing you do for yourself. Really honoring how you work and who you are. And this is so important because we don't all manifest the same. It's fun to share all these manifesting tips and manifesting tricks and manifesting things because some will work for some people, some will work for others, because we're all coming at things through the lens of our experience, of our viewpoint, of our values, of our desires, of our talents and our gifts and our culture and all sorts of things. So, this is a wonderful time to tap into that true nature and ask yourself. You can even, maybe when you're taking a bath or when you're doing some form of self-care, maybe you're taking a nap and you wake up and ask yourself, what is it I really need? How can I treat myself even better? And listen to what comes up. Maybe you get a flash of inspiration or you hear something like, you need to get to nature more or whatever it is. See what comes up. You can even set an order with the universe. So you can declare, you could say, universe, I need to know within the next 24 hours, please, can you give me a very clear sign that I will understand to let me know how I can better take care of myself so that I can be my best self more, feel better, be thriving, all of those things. Show me clearly so I get it and I understand it within the next 24 hours. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Something like that. Place that order with the universe and see what happens. Chances are you're going to get a very clear sign. You're going to know exactly what to do for you. And that's going to be something that, again, keeps you in a space of momentum and flow. All of this, when we talk about real transformation, it doesn't happen in an instant. Real transformation happens and you see the signs of it, you feel it, but it's cumulative. And so this is like catching a wave. Scorpio season is like catching a big wave, really getting into the flow of this, connecting to that flow from within and from outside as well. Being directed, knowing where you're headed, knowing what you'd really like to happen. That's wonderful. And then leaning in again to that momentum and really allowing yourself to stay grounded and centered and feel really good. It's going to make such a big difference. And for all the time, you can place an order with the universe and you will get clear feedback. In fact, I'm going to place an order with the universe. I get impatient sometimes, and sometimes I ask for by the end of the day, give me a sign. So if you're watching this now, you can literally say, by the end of the day, universe, please give me a very clear sign that I can't ignore, that this is what I need to do, that this is the direction to go. And you will know it and you will feel it when this comes. If you want to be generous, give yourself a full day or 2 days, but I've done it for the end of the day. I'm going to do it right after this for the end of the day, place an order with the universe and see where it would be beneficial for me to focus. And you'll always know that whatever is right for you won't feel anything less than a big yes, where you go, oh, yes, that's what it is. That's where I need to focus. That's what I need to do. And the key here is keep your vibes high, because when you're in this flow, you're in motion. And so it's a really good time. Yes, you're going to maybe have a lot of emotions coming up when you're diving deep into things. Be in a lot of action. It's a really good time to keep your vibes higher as an overall standard. Again, doing more of the things that you love to do. That's for all seasons, and leaning into that self-care, because there is so much intensity that we want to really catch the wave and ride it without going backwards into maybe old habits of overthinking or going along and spinning in circles or anything else. It can be really, really, really powerful. Someone said, check out Vedic astrology. It can help identify one's life purpose, life path, weaknesses, and strengths in your birth chart. And then you can work alongside it for more positivity and meaning to life. So I strongly feel that we all know our own life's meaning and life's purpose. I've actually had all sorts of those things done and they don't agree with me at all or match my life. I think for some people it might really resonate. That doesn't super resonate with me. I also believe like we can develop any strengths that we want. Yeah, you might have an intrinsic nature, but you can, with free will, do whatever it is you want. So you're not bound by any destiny in my mind. You are able to create whatever you want to create in this lifetime. So why not make the absolute most of it? And if it is illuminating, that's amazing. I have found that certain things really are illuminating for me, like these cycles of nature, but I don't really like anyone telling me what my purpose is. I have to feel that deeply for myself. That's why I'm such a big fan of this idea of creating your own life, following your feelings, getting that feedback where it comes from the universe, and then getting those clear yeses, like, yes, that's where I'm going to go next. So, yeah, I think, and it might really resonate with you and with lots of people to follow those types of things. They may be very aligned for you, where it's just like, this is me to a T. I'm not, I haven't found something that resonates so strongly, but also, I'm a huge fan of creating and charting your own course because you can change anything. Um, that's amazing. So you found that there are certain paradigms that are really creative and very directed, and that's so important. Again, this is all what I'm talking about. Follow how you feel, get that, get into your specific clear nature, but really do look from now until the end of the year. You have this window of time, and there's all this generating power. And I know it's easy to say it's the end of the year, everything should shut down. But we tend to wait till January 1 to start anew. But really, this is the season where things start anew. Scorpio season every year is this awakening. Right now, just about every planet is moving out of retrograde, not all of them, but moving forward. There's forward motion. There's all this, again, water, fresh start of a cycle. Now is really the time that you can start a new year if you're ready to start a new year. And so you don't have to start getting ready when it's January 1 or the 31st. You can literally start now. And I really believe this idea ending something on a high note, regardless of how much you got done that you planned or whatever else happened during the year, ending the year on a high note sets you up for everything that comes. And that high note doesn't need to be just achievement. That high note that you end on can actually be you making decisions. Yes, everything's moving direct now. You making decisions, you making these changes, maybe changing a habit, deciding on that self-care or energy practices, things that come to you and doing them. So it might be an exciting time after you watch this to place an order with the universe, ask for feedback about what would be the perfect thing for you to do, and dive in and do it. And I'm always so excited about this time. Someone said last year at this time was very intense, but in a good transformational way, a transformative way. That's amazing. That's how I feel about the season every year. But this year, it's just like, okay, let's do it. It's really big. And I hope that you all make the absolute most of it by first and foremost prioritizing yourself, your joy, this sense of passion. And if you are wanting to transform your home and your finances, below you'll find a link to the free Feng Shui wealth video series, which is off the charts amazing and up for another few days this year. And the cash camp is also here. So we're diving deep into expansion and ending the year on a note of wealth to start the year and super wealth. So I hope you enjoy it all. I'm always here if you have any questions. And really, this is more of a feeling time more than anything else. uh, feeling that those right paths and then going for it, leaning in and doing it. So whatever you dive into, I hope you are incredibly fulfilled. And I'm going to be making some of my own lists today. This is a great time to, if you're doing some self reflection or thinking about what you'd like to have next. I have all of these notebooks everywhere where I've been making lists and making lists of all the things. And so, yeah, it's very, very fun. And I hope that everything that you want to have happen for the end of the year happens for you. And I'm here to support you every step of the way. And if you need anything, please feel free. Leave your questions below or feel free to reach out to me at dana@fengshuidana.com. I love getting to know you guys. Have a wonderful Scorpio season, and I'll be back with the new moon and the full moon and all the things to come to end the year on the highest note ever. Have so much fun. Mwah. Bye, everyone.